Hello everybody and welcome to one more video on big units. This time I'll show you in a four-part compilation, if I can call it. I'll show you the German offensive, the German forces for the famous Mortain counterattack. A total of 6 divisions, all of them already under strength. So more or less the equivalent of 3 full Panzer Divisions approximately. There will be 5 Panzer Divisions and 1 PzGrenadier division. So as this thing is going to take a lot of time, today I'll show you only the way I did the way I used to get here, and then in the next videos I'll show you in each video more or less 2 divisions. Okay, so it will be a 4-part story. Okay, so the idea came from this lovely book here. Probably if you are around 50 you had this book. Mine are in this condition, as you can see, pretty destroyed. Later on, of course, it would happen the same to my Playboy magazines, but for now, when I was around 10, this is things I liked, of course. So you can see here the first reference I found to Mortain in my life. It was in this Pierre Dupuy book, in which the Germans were counterattacking. Germans were leaving the foxholes and attacking the Americans, which I found fun in terms of wargaming and modeling, because in the last 2 or 3 books of this collection, Germans were always being beaten, because it was already the end of the Africa Corps, Sicily, in the east things were also even worse. So, I mean, suddenly the Germans were coming out of their foxholes. Well, and I found it interesting. But for many years I couldn't find, in fact, almost zero information about Mortain. Mortain became somewhat forgotten in the history books of the 70s, 80s, even 90s. There weren't many references to it. And then a few years ago, for instance, this book came out, Victory at Mortain, by Mark J. Reardon, and plenty of light was made on top of these actions of the 17th to 12th August 1944. It's a more than 300-page book, and it gives plenty of information about the actions. Not that much about the order of battles of the units, but even so, it helps. And then this one also came by one of the heroes of the battle, Robert Weiss. He was a forward observer of the U.S. artillery. He was on this hill here, 2014, and from here he was directing the fire of the U.S. artillery, which was to the west, from on top of the Germans were coming from the east. Okay, so this is a very important reference, and the battle was more or less like this. Let me try to show you. So it is. You see here the dates. Okay, you see here the situation from Sourdeval up to Barenton. 6 Panzer and PzGrenadier divisions attacked the lines of the 30th Infantry Division, U.S. Infantry Division. There was this hill, 314, which was a very tough nut to crack. It wasn't in fact cracked. The Germans overcame the position, but they surrounded the position, but they never conquered it, even with plenty of casualties from the Americans. And then the third armored and second armored came, one from the north, another from the south, and finished the dreams of the Germans of pushing the Allies, the Americans on this case, to Avranches and to the sea. So everything was over. Another thing I did was, for instance, this kind of charts, and they place, you can see here, for instance, 2nd Panzer SS. You can see here, for instance, the number of panzers that you need for the beginning of August, in terms of rapid fire, of course, 1 to 5, and men 1 to 15, of course. So you see here everything that is necessary. And according to these charts that I was building along the years, this, for instance, is the final informational group, if I can call it, in which you can see numbers always being erased, because I was finding information, then I was erasing and replacing with a different number of models for each of the German machines. Okay, and then you see it here, of course. So what you see here, if you see a group of 6 Panthers, is because there were around 30 Panthers in that division at the beginning of August. Beginning of August is also complicated because we don't really know exactly if that is the correct number, because, for instance, those famous returns of the Germans were given at the end of each month, and as the battle occurs in the end of first week, So there could have been already casualties, and so we don't know exactly the number of German tanks. But Reardon says that probably between 250, maybe 300 panzers, and probably it includes the Sturmgeschütz and Jagdpanzers, not the artillery pieces that were self-propelled, but at least the panzers and the Sturmgeschütz and Jagdpanzers that participated in the battle. So what you see here is more or less half of my collection for late war, because here you can see the 21st Panzer, which I already showed you, the 16th Luftwaffe infantry division, the Volksgrenadier division, and many small units that I have of Jack Panthers, Tiger 1, Tiger 2s, and other late war units that are not here. So more or less half of my late war Germany is here on the table for me to show you. Now, one last mention to this very good information blocks, if I can call it. Let's try to show you the website. You can copy it if you want. And I tried to find it already nowadays. I really can't find it with this terminology. So probably there's another name. And these are division by division, very good records from original sources that someone did. And for instance, you can see here regarding Second Panzer Division das Reich. Of course, this is already in other publications. I mean, I'm just telling you the way I did it, if it somehow can help. So, for instance, you can go and see here number of Panzer IVs, number of Panthers, all along the Normandy campaign. For instance, here there's another extended version of the same. For instance, around 25th July, which is the last information the guy had, there were 37 Panzer IVs and there were 41 Panthers. So this number decreased, and around, for instance, after the battle, you can see plenty of casualties, as you can see here, and almost nothing was left. But around 7th of August, I found then in other sources the numbers that I will tell you later when I make the videos on each two Panzer divisions at a time. Okay, so I hope you have enjoyed this one. For not make it too long, just a taster, okay? And then I'll show you the rest, and I'll show the models and the brands and the way each of the 6 divisions was made. Okay, see you soon. Bye bye.